Well, 5 weeks after my Ironman, I got diagnosed with blood cancer. It's called chronic myeloid leukemia. So it's basically a type of leukemia on the 1st of September.
Okay, give it up for 6:48. Jimbo, James, and Work.
Come on, James!
29 on the first
Come
line.
on, James!
As you join the James,
Come on, James!
all the ladies. Well done.
First things first, give us a little bit of an insight to your background, like as an athlete and just in general how sporty you are.
I've always sort of been into sport as a kid, and then I sort of defined it down to swimming. So I started competitive swimming when I was 9. I got chosen for the Lancashire Elite Squad, Gallica, as some people may know it, as you know it, Lucy, because you swam there as well. And I swam all the way up to around about 23, 24. Competitive wise, I swam multiple nationals, international swimming for Great Britain, open water. 1500 was my main event. That's how I got into the open water side of it.
Your training was far different to mine. Say I was a 200 IM swimmer.
Yeah.
How many times a week did you train?
I was in the pool 9-10 times a week, 10 being maximum, all at 2-hour sessions, maybe 2.5-hour sessions, having to get extra meters in because I was having to do a lot of distance work, ridiculous sets like 6-1500. Those are the sort of things I had to get through. I enjoyed it though, because I was never a sprinter. I'm 5'7", and I was never getting any taller. Training wise, I was doing 8 to 10k, like 10,000 meters in a day, maybe even more.
What age did you stop swimming and then start like triathlons? And
23
things like that?
was the age I stopped. It was the same time where I was thinking about wanting to do triathlons. So it's when I bought my first bike around that age, and then one of my good friends, Andy Addison, was goading me into doing Helvellyn Triathlon, which I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. I can't see it being too bad because it's a 1500 metre swim, so I'd eat that up quite easily. And then he was like, yeah, it's a 20-30k bike and then a 9k run. So I was like, well, I can see us getting through that. Lo and behold, it was one of the toughest ones I've ever had to do because you have to go up the struggle. It's like a 20% climb. But when I did that bike, wow, it was horrendous. And then it all sort of went downhill from there.
So with blood cancer, how did you know that you had it, or what made you go to the doctors in the first place?
I had no real idea of what it was until after my Ironman. I was getting really tired and not really recovering from it. But I was just thinking, it must be how you recover from an Ironman, because it takes a lot out of your body. I was out there for 14 hours, just like a hard, intense day, and like a couple of weeks after it, I still wasn't really recovering. I was still getting really tired, dead easy, and then I started getting bruising on my legs and my arms, but I didn't know where it came from. I wasn't hitting anything, not to my recollection anyway. They were there for weeks. I had one on my arm for 4 weeks. My partner Danielle and my mum were both saying, look, you really need to go and get them checked out. Got myself booked in, and I went to see my doctor, and I explained to him what I'd done, what the bruises were and how they just appeared, and how I'd been tired quite a bit. So he was like, he didn't even look at my bruises. He just led me down on the bed in the doctor's office, and he started checking around my stomach and my spleen, and then he said that my spleen was enlarged. So I was like, all right, okay. And he went, because of that, I'll go and get your bloods checked. So that happened on the Tuesday at the end of August, and then I went on the Wednesday to the same doctors, to get my bloods done. And then the Thursday morning, which was the 1st of September 2016, I got a phone call from my doctors saying, you're going to get a phone call from the hospital. Found a problem with your bone marrow. So I was like, all right, okay. But my partner had a list of things that she thought it might have been, because she's a nurse in A&E, so she's got a medical background. You were like, oh, it'll just be an infection, wasn't it?
Yeah, because obviously after your Ironman, I just thought, and when he told us your spleen was enlarged, and obviously your spleen filters a lot of your blood cells, so I just presumed, it's inflamed due to the Ironman or the extensive exercise you've been doing.
And then I got a phone call about half an hour after. Not even that, I don't think, from the hospital, saying that you're going to have to come in. And then they told me then where I had to go. And it turned out that I had to go to the Macmillan unit, which is the cancer unit. So that then, we knew as soon as they told us that something wasn't quite right. We got there to the hospital, didn't we? And then that was it then, Macmillan unit.
From doing my little research with his bruising, I'd already seen leukemia on the list, but I put that right down the bottom because you wouldn't think a 26-year-old who's fit as a fiddle would get cancer. It's just totally out of the blue. So I was trying to keep my face as straight as I can in front of James, just because I didn't want to panic him until we actually got like, confirmation of it all. The massive dash then to the hospital.
Up to the Macmillan unit, yeah.
We weren't sat there for very long in the waiting room, were we?
Not even 10 minutes, was it? And we were straight into the consultant's room.
Straight into the room. It was just a lovely doctor, wasn't she? She
was really nice. Well, she was the one to then break the bad news to me.
Yeah.
So we were sat in the consultant's office, and then she was talking to us and explaining why we were there. And that was it then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She told me that I'd been diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia. I had no idea what that was, apart from I heard leukemia at the end of it, which I know what that is, that's blood cancer. And then she started explaining what it was and what was going to happen. The main thing I can remember, I can't remember much else from it apart from her saying, it's not curable, it's treatable. That's what got the ball rolling for me. That's why I wasn't the consultant said, didn't she, that she was even asking, like, are you sure you're okay? Like, because I wasn't really showing much emotion, was I? I'm not one for showing much emotion.
I was extremely tearful. Obviously hearing the word leukemia and cancer, everything just goes through your head. It's I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And James was just so calm, but that's James's nature as well. He's very laid back. The doctor even said to James, "Are you sure you're okay?
She couldn't quite.
You're taking this extremely well."
Yeah, she couldn't quite believe it, could she?
Obviously, being told that he has cancer, he did take it extremely well.
Yeah, because the next thing I know that she'd have to call me back in. After taking some more bloods, and then because I was waiting to then go up onto the haematology ward, but there was no beds available at that time, so I was just waiting then to go up to have some chemo and some treatment done. But that's when my mum came, and then my mum came into the office the second time, and that's when I was in the middle of both Danielle and my mum.
We were blubbering messes,
yeah.
Me and his mum, and you just sat there, keel's cucumber.
Yeah. Trying to figure out when I could eat because I was hungry.
James straight away was like, "Oh, brilliant! I'm starving. Let's go get some food." And me and his mum just looked at him, looked at each other, just, how can you think you stomach at a time like this? But clearly, James does.
So, since being diagnosed last year in September, how has your life changed, or like how were the first couple of months with cancer?
First 5 to 6 months were really hard. It was quite a vigorous chemo, but it luckily didn't have any sort of side effects with it. But it was a tablet that I wasn't even allowed to touch with my bare hands. The nurses had to wear gloves to actually handle the chemo tablet that I had to take because it was that toxic. And then I was on an IV drip for the 2 or 3 days I was in there.
It really had that we noticed at the time were the bruising,
and what we now know is the fatigue
now that
from
we'll look back now. I must admit, I think week before he got diagnosed, I noticed his weight loss. We'd put it down to the Ironman, but I noticed he's losing a lot of weight more after it.
When I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, and a lot of
people
still
dropping weight.
Where James works at the gym, were mentioning how good he looked, how much weight he'd lost in the Ironman.
Yeah. I was getting really good at like feeling about myself because they were saying that I'd lost so much weight.
He'd lost the motivation to train.
Yeah, that was like a month running up to the actual the full Ironman.
Obviously, you've heard that James is a swimmer, and the week before the Ironman, he went and swam. Was it 3.8k in Lake Ullswater?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Just a practice for the Ironman. And as soon as he got out of the water, I knew something wasn't right. I
didn't really know where I was.
He didn't know where he was. He was slow in his words.
I couldn't really feel what my hands were doing. My arms were just swinging around. They couldn't see me because my arms were just flapping over, just trying to get round. And the next thing I really remember was leaning up against a railing, sort of with my head down.
They just said it was hypothermia, which
So I was wrapped
fair
up
enough,
in this
but
this big
wasn't
sleeping
like,
bag, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like you to
No.
get
Because that's the first
hypothermia.
time it's ever really happened from a swim.
Exactly. We only thought you had the bruising as a symptom.
But then it all sort of made sense then, didn't
Yeah,
it? The
but
fatigue and...
It
Yeah.
was then when he started on his medications, this tablet he has to take for the rest of his life now, which is like a mild dose of chemo basically. It's when he started taking that, that's when we noticed the difference in you.
Yeah.
You was more tired, you couldn't do anything. He
Just went from everything to nothing.
He slept on the couch all day. He just wasn't James.
And one of the main side effects of this tablet when I first started taking it, there was pains in my bones. It was almost like if you've ever experienced growing pains before, it was like that, but thousands of times worse. And it was from the top of my leg all the way down to the bottom of my toe. So I then rang 111 because at this point I was led on the floor, wasn't I?
That night was probably one of the hardest nights because I couldn't do anything.
And then that's when alarm bells started ringing because I had a high temperature.
When you're in the hospital, the haematology ward for three days. That was the longest day, wasn't it? And they were treating him for sepsis, which is quite it can kill people basically. It's an infection of your blood if you've got an infection. So it was on antibiotics, weren't you? More drips. Yeah. More stay in hospital. I was a bit lost with what to do with him because he was stuck in the house. And I was frightened of his mental state going because he wasn't doing anything. So I tried to get him out, but he wouldn't walk because it'd be too painful.
I tried and it wouldn't happen. So I just thought to myself, I'm not.
A wheelchair just for him to get out. He refused to get in the wheelchair because obviously he's,
I didn't want to be seen as being pushed around like on a wheelchair.
First 3 months were the hardest because I just saw a total change in him.
But now, like nearly a year
tell
on.
me about life now. Like you've got a triathlon soon.
Yeah, I've got Fleetwood Triathlon on the 10th of September, which marks a year to the day of me first taking my medication. Oh, nearly a year on, things are getting back to normal.
Yeah, definitely.
I do get tired of every now and again, but that's just normal. That's just age now.
He's gone back to swimming. He's gone back to swimming with Fleetwood Swim Club.
Just a few times a week, not as much as I used to. I'm back teaching my first aid courses. I'm also teaching lifeguard courses now as well because I'm a pool TA. As of how life's getting on, it's getting back to normal now.
Yeah. It's been a long stint, but we're getting there.
Yeah. If you are ever conscious about anything that you might find on your body, whether it be bruises, lumps, bumps, just get it checked. It's the best thing to do because if it gets caught early like mine did, then the treatment can be started instantly. It may be nothing, it may be something or nothing. Every 3 months I'll go in to the Macmillan unit, I'll get my bloods taken, my weight done, speak to the consultant, and it's basically, your bloods are doing alright, see you in 3 months. So it was lucky that it was caught early, so that's why I'm saying now, go and get checked out.
So Radaz was telling me a bit about the charity, is it Bloodwise?
Yeah, so Bloodwise is the charity that's helped me through the last year. They're giving me all the information I needed to know on the actual illness that I've got, and they've always been there. They're a really good charity for blood cancer. So they've got websites, they do charity events all the time, and they're always looking to raise money as well.
So I can put a link below, so for anyone that's been affected or moved by this video or needs some advice, you can go on that link and it'll say stuff on the website.
Yeah, it's got all the information on the website.
If you want to speak to Radaz himself, speak to me, message me, I can get you in contact.